maybe there was a good reason for it. Maybe he's trying to keep it fresh. What if somebody got their head cut off and he was going to bring it to the hospital to reattach it? You put a toe in like a cooler.
That's exactly what happened.
To the hospital.
Yep.
What if he was traveling? Now there's somebody, they defrosted it. They're treating it like it's evidence, and there's just some guy running around with no head, just running around the fucking streets.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro. Head in freezer. But see, this is that bullshit, though. Joe Rogan Guest finds head in freezer. They don't ever say, like, Jeffrey Epstein. No, Bill Clinton's best friend, arrested on fucking, you know what I mean? On sex crimes charges, like this is, I get what this dude did. If he did do whatever, I don't know if there's any logical explanations for fucking.
There's definitely a logical explanation. He was pissed off and he cut a guy's goddamn head off and put it in the freezer.
Not suggested, but logical at the time. At the time, it felt very logical to him.
How difficult is it to cut a guy's head off? It's so much work.
Yeah, bro.
So much work.
Yeah, you got to have like a samurai sword from like the literal samurai age, you know what I mean, or a gladiator sword, like some like special fucking, special metal,
How long's the head been in there?
Let's see. Let's look at it a little more. Let's see. It's new. This just hit the news feed, so let's see. A 48-year-old youth counselor for the Queens Defenders, who spent 25 years in prison for attempted murder and robbery, was introduced on a Joe Rogan Experience in February by his friend, Perlmutter Center for Legal Justice Executive Director Josh Dubin, as a marvelous human being who was wronged by the system. All right, let's see.
True. The guy pisses me off every time. I want to fucking love the guy, but obviously it pisses me off. Every time the guy does that, I want to let him talk. He's a wonderful human being. I go, God damn it.
Well, I mean, it usually is the case, bro. Like most of these people, they get out.
Usually, again, it's one of two. It's one of two.
It's one of five on Rogan, but it's like one of like 100 he got out.
That's so 20%. 20%? 20% got ahead. 20% got ahead.
20% of the Rogan guests that
20% got ahead in the freezer.
Yeah.
For the love of God. What the fuck, dude?
But like 1% of the guys that he got out, you know what I mean? Because he got hundreds of people out at this point. You're going to have, listen, there's definitely going to be, but here's the thing though. If he was innocent, oh no, you know what though? Wasn't this the dude that he brought on that wasn't innocent? Right?
He did some shit.
Yeah.
I remember him calmly admitting to some things where it was like, it wasn't like
No, he was guilty. He was guilty, but he got charged. This 44-year-old Colin Small spent time in the same prison as Johnson and may have had a BC. Now, I might be linking to him. Bro, what if this dude raped him or some shit and he got out and he's like, I'm cutting this motherfucker's head off. Then I'm with the severing.
That was Zelly?
Yeah, they were in the same prison and may have had beef. This guy was violent. Like, he was the first guy that the Josh Dubin dude brought on that was guilty, and he was guilty of a fairly violent crime. He was hustling, and dude owed him thousands of dollars. He got locked up. When he got out, he got locked up for a short little stint. When he got out, he went to find him like, yo, bro, you just not gonna pay me? And then they got into it, and then he gun butted him.
This is why people are happy sometimes. But there's just evil people.
Right. With this guy, or bad people at the least, right? Bad people at the least.
Bad? He cut a motherfucker's head off.
Now he's evil. I'm saying at that time, for the other crime, it's more bad than evil.
Well, maybe he had more heads in the freezer. We don't know. I like the picture he bought one of those 99-cent liquor store freezers and he put ice in there. And he really carried it with him to the ball court and played basketball. And he had it over there.
It wasn't even metal.
Yeah. He put a couple of fucking Gatorades in there. That's what he did.
Right. In security footage following the incident, Johnson could be seen carrying cleaning supplies and a blue bin to the apartment where Small's remains were found before leaving in a blonde wig. Bro, the idea of this dude dipping out in a blonde wig is fucking hilarious. What state did it happen in? It don't say the state. Might be Queens. It might be New York because he's a counselor for the Queens Defenders. So it's probably New York.
I think it's a misdemeanor now. We're cutting heads off.
Yeah, severing heads in New York and Cali and Portland. It's a fucking it's a misdemeanor.
No big deal. Just think, what would be a good reason that you cut a man's head off and put it in a freezer?
You get raped, I'll cut your head off. If you rape me and I have the ability to get a blue bin, a blonde wig, cleaning supplies, and a samurai sword, I'm chopping your fucking head off. For rape? I think
you cut a man's head off for raping you. Really? For raping you?
Rape me, or I obviously hurt any of my kids, right? Those are the two things that a severing could definitely be on the docket.
You would cut a man's head off for raping you?
But I would enjoy every splat of blood, bro.
For raping you?
Yeah, bro. Clearly, this dude is violent, right? Shouldn't have been on Rogan's show, because now Rogan, you got the headlines framing it like this: Joe Rogan Guest, which is so fucking pointed and bullshit. Because people who know politicians and people who go on TV shows to do interviews and people who do documentaries, think about the people who have been on talk shows or, in movies. Think about
the family of the guy's head he cut off, dude. Inside the penitentiary.
What the fuck is the FBF team?
The sexual butt fuck. It's the sexual butt fuck team.
I think you might be talking about that Sam Bankman-Fried dude. Yeah. That might be what he's talking about. Let me know, Grass-Fed, if that's what you're talking about, brother. He gave off some energy too, bro. Even when he was on the show, he didn't seem like the other dudes from the Innocent Project that were like, yeah, like all like just happy to like be free because they know they did. Like he was like, yeah, I was selling drugs. This dude owed me money. Got locked up. Got out. I went to see him. He was another guy just like me. Yada, yada, yada. I gun butted him.
So what? He saw the man. So what? He saw the man's head.
I want to know how he did it. We got to keep up with this story because I want to know. I want to know how you got the head off, bro. That's what I
want.
So
much work. It's so much work, bro.
Yeah.
So much work. It's not easy. They cut a man's head off, dude. It ain't samurai. It's none of that.
No.
Very difficult.
No, you would need literal samurai steel and like an open field where you could swing that shit. You know what I mean? Like full blast, like from here, like they do it like a baseball player almost that they have it up top, and they go whap. That like, bro, how else?
Guaranteed, this dude was sick, dude. This guy probably had like a screwdriver and just stabbed around the neck like a million times.
Yeah, like when you're trying to open a can and you have no can opener and you just take a sharp knife and go. Remember that shit back in the day? You'd stick a steak knife.
Back in the day, I've been doing that shit like last week, dude. I do that shit like constantly. Don't have the proper tools. You're never gonna have the proper tools to cut a man's head off.
No, you are never gonna have the proper tools to cut a man's head off. And if you do, goddamn, because what is the proper tool, bro? Like even a sawzall, bro. If you take a sawzall, that shit's gonna be shaking like in sheetrock. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck?
You're gonna need. I don't know what you're gonna need. Like I don't know. Like the first cut, I would want what you're talking about. Like where you could try to like. I'm gonna try to do this in one fell swoop.
Oh yeah, that's what you really want, right? Ideally.
That's what you really want. Yeah. But then that's not gonna work either. It's not gonna work either. You're not gonna have like a super ninja sword.
Bro, in a house too. You know how big the room would have to be to really get like the right. You need a room that was like empty. Like you'd really need to be able to talk into that shit, like on some fucking Kill Bill fucking type shit. You
got the sword, right? Then you do your sword, right? And then you go, oh shit, I'm gonna have to really get hands on with this, because then you're gonna have to grab him by the hair, and really do manual labor, like where you have like a. You're gonna go for a night. I don't have like a bunch of those Dragon Slayer knife. I guess that's where those knives from like the liquor stores.
And what's the hardest shit to get through? I guess the neck, right? Like the vertebrae in the back.
Yeah, you would get to the neck first.
The tendons,
the vertebrae.
And all that.
When you got to the vertebrae, would be the problem. Would you you would start jumping up and down. This is what I would do because I'm terrible with like that. I would get frustrated and I would put his head down and I would start jumping up and down on his neck, thinking it was gonna like break it off, which wouldn't work. I'm sure it wouldn't work.
And if you had a sharp enough blade, like a butcher knife, what do you think would get a head off better, a butcher knife or a serrated knife? Like a bread knife, a sharp bread knife? I don't
know the difference. Okay.
A serrated knife is like a tooth, more of a toothy, like a steak knife, but like those are the big serrated knives they use for like, bread if you're opening a roll in a deli or a fucking restaurant, or a butcher knife, which is like the big, just sharp, long knife. You know what I mean? Chop fucking, vegetables with or whatever the fuck. What do you think would work?
I guess a butcher one?
I feel like a butcher too, but then like once it gets to the hard shit, it's just gonna grab. I don't know, bro. But like I want to know how he did the dude. That's all. That's the most interesting thing to me. How the fuck did you get this man's motherfucking head off, bro? Bro, imagine he just used the top of a tuna can. Right. Wait. He just used the top of a tuna can, a sharpened tuna can, like jam. You know what I mean? He just took the top off a tuna can. Just, You know what would work good? What? Remember in the cartoons back in the day? When there's a big ass tree and one guy gets on either side of the tree with that big ass saw, you know what I mean?
That's if you got a 2-man team. If you got a 2-man team to do it, sure.
Like one on each side.
If you got a 2-man team, it's a lot easier. This guy was definitely set up. Somebody put that head there.
Yeah. Mark Furman. Is he dead or alive? Mark Furman.
Oh, we'll find out because,
I feel like he died. No, he's still alive. So Mark Furman snuck in and put the head in the fucking freezer, in the mini fridge, to be exact. That's not true, but that's how I picture it. So we'll just make it true.
So I just want to make sure I understand this clearly. This guy was on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Got off of Joe Rogan and killed somebody.
So yes, he was in prison for a long time, got out. Right. Got a crazy sentence for something that maybe you should have got less of a sentence for, got out, and then just recently severed somebody's head.
Get out of here, dude. What, like Jeffrey Dahmer type shit, huh?
The victim, identified as 44-year-old Colin Small, spent time in the same prison as Johnson and may have had a beef with him, according to the New York Post. Small was reportedly heard by neighbors pleading for his life on Tuesday evening before several shots rang out. This is the best part. You ready?
Imagine shooting someone and then thinking to yourself, I need to cut up the body.
Right. Big Eddie, I haven't seen you in a minute, by the way. I want to regard you, my brother. Sage is definitely a power bottom. Okay. We're still on UFC with all that. Oh, what the fuck? Here we go. So, does he mean the title? Oh, he means the Wiggers. Oh, yeah. So the show is Original Wiggers that I do. We do a morning show on Wednesdays at 11, and then we do a night show on Wednesdays at 9:40 p.m., alternating weeks. That's with my boy Uncle Dust. Original Wiggers, because we come from that era, the first era of hip-hop, and we were called Wiggers. Right, by racist people. Yeah, exactly.
I wore Jordan shorts in junior high, and someone said to me, "Why are you trying to be black?"
Yeah. And they would call us Wiggers for like it was racist whites that called you Wiggers. It wasn't the hood. It wasn't black dudes. It was racist whites who called you Wigger because they're like, "Oh, you want to be a blank," So anyway, yeah, that's it's a satire comedy show. So that's the whole thing. Original Wiggers. So just so you know, but Uncle Dust drank 7 beers tonight. This was a pop-up show. It wasn't the main show. But his tolerance, I don't know. But my co-host looks 10 years older than me. He's only a year or two older than me. There's a lot to it. But anyway.
Dusty, dude. Hey, homie's Dusty.
I love Dusty. He's the best, though. Ain't nobody better than Dusty. So anyway, look, Pete. This is my favorite part right here. In security footage following the incident, Johnson could be seen carrying cleaning supplies and a blue bin to the apartment where Small's remains were found, before leaving in a blonde wig.
Oh,
that's my favorite. Look at
this
dude.
guy in a blonde wig. You kidding me?
Come on, dog. You trying to get caught? He was waving at Ring cameras like, well, bro, what are you doing, bro? Most obvious fucking head severing.
This is a blight on Joe Rogan's podcasting career. If anything, like you gotta Is he the first murderer?
Well, all right. So most of the dudes that have gone on the show, the guy Josh Dubin brings them on. That's the guy who like started the Innocence Project, right? So most of the dudes that he brings on are innocent, right? They were in jail, falsely accused. You know, it's DNA bullshit or witness statements that ended up being fraudulent or whatever, or some of them were literal corruption. This is the first guy he brought, and this is Joe Rogan's gonna probably tell, bro, don't bring me anybody else that got convicted on ever again. This guy actually did it, right? He did like he was like a drug dealer, and then he got into it with another drug dealer or another guy who owed him money, and then like there was like an assault, and maybe he took like a couple dollars out of the guy's pocket or some shit, right? And he got like a ridiculous amount of time, and that's why he was on, right? To show like you know how they give exaggerated sentences to certain people or certain groups sometimes in history. They've done that. I mean, it's a known thing.
Racist.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there is that,
There's
especially
racists out there.
Right, especially 20, 30, 40 years ago when the justice system was even more fucking wonky and compromised even more. You know what I mean? And that's probably when this guy was arrested. New York stays releasing demons on the street. Yeah, well, see, but the thing with this dude is he did serve his time, right, for the crime he committed.
25 years, right?
Right, you think all he did was gun butt somebody in 91? You know, you figure he just gun butted someone in 91. He's probably not so bad, And then
can you scroll down a little bit to the article?
Yeah, hang tight. I want to readjust our cameras here. There's one angle I can't use. This one I can't use because you're there. So I'm gonna put this up here.
I can flip it.
No. I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm gonna just pop us like that, and then we're good. And then when I put up the comments, you can still see my ugly mug, and then you could stay at the angle you like, and then we golden. Can you still see the video good, or is it gonna be too small? Brother. All right, cool. So scroll down. So that's the first paragraph. A 48-year-old youth counselor for Queens Defenders who spent 25 years in prison for attempted murder and robbery was introduced on a Joe Rogan Experience in February by his friend, Plymouth Center Legal Justice Executive Director Josh Dubin, as a marvelous human being who was wronged by the system.
I love the fact it was attempted murder, and he's like, you know what? I gotta finish that up. Like, I can't have attempted.
Yeah, it wasn't him, right? Like, did he finish the? That's what I want to know. I need more details. First of all, I need to know how the fuck he cut his head off, right?
Ooh,
that's number one. So, what are we doing? I want to know.
And why cut the head off?
Like, right, and keep it in your fridge, dog. He kept it
in his fridge.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Look.
Dude, no.
If the head found in freezer.
His freezer.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was his freezer. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know if it was his freezer or I think it might have because it said where the remains were found. So that says then most likely.
This guy's autistic and retarded as fuck if you don't mind me saying that.
Bro, fucking blonde wig puts the head in the why are you putting the head in the freezer, dog? What's the purpose we're trying to fucking,
God. This is a level I don't even understand, to be honest. It makes to me no fucking sense in a lot of regards. Just he's attempted murder, so he's failed. Now he got to complete the action. He completes the action, but he actually doesn't know how to complete it.
Right.
Or like,
right.
He's confused.
Right. He went too far. He's like, I'm not getting another attempted. I got he was yelling at the body. That shit was dead for fucking 5 hours as he's cutting through it with a kitchen knife. You know what I mean?
This guy's got demons. I don't know, what the fuck is going on? Oh, I can't imagine the process too of somebody's already dead, you already killed him, and you're like, how do I get rid of this? Well, let me just leave the body, but I'll cut off the head and put it in a freezer, then wear a blonde wig out. Leave everything else, partially finished job. Yeah. A real thorough a job would be to get maybe cut everything up.
Right.
I sound like a psychopath, right?
No, but you're right. Logistically, cut everything up so you can move it somewhere.
Yeah.
But he shoots him, cuts off his head, and says, hey, I'm going to put this next to the Hot Pockets. He's
I'm gonna walk out.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you got sweet potato fries, buddy. You know what I mean? He ate a couple sweet potato fries, popped them in the air fryer. You know, fuck is going on, bro?
Dude, it's low level. This guy should have spent 10 more years in prison to learn the craft of the trade or whatever they say.
Jesus, bro.
Didn't learn the fucking thing. Sorry,
I watched the no, bro. You need to do. I'm a guy you need to do that with. Please do. I did watch this episode too, and immediately he felt different. I was telling Dust this before. He felt different than the other guys who were there that were innocent, right? Like he had like a TI type delivery, just like very like a smooth, low, you know. And then when they said, "Oh, he was convicted," but I was like, "Oh, this makes sense." It was just a bad sentence you're saying, but he seemed like more nefarious than the other guys from the Innocence Project that Dubin brought on.
Dude, sorry to cut you off. You got one of the coolest ads right there. Like, is Vanderbilt neutral on Jew hatred? Define and denounce anti-Semitism. I can't believe you got that ad.
Is Vanderbilt neutral on Jew hatred?
Hey, we're pro-Jew here. We're not anti-Semitic. We love the Jews.
I'm not anti anything. I'm joke about everybody, and I'm anti-dickhead. I don't give a fuck what ratio.
I'll be honest, dude. I was watching a content creator. God bless his soul. His name was David Crocco. And you probably have no clue who he is.
Oh, I was doing that to the chat. Yeah. I heard the name. I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
But anyways, he made a lot of anti-Semitic, which I'm entirely against. I'm pro-Jew content. And when I watched his content, I started to get like ads like that, dude. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like, stop Jew hatred. And I'm like, it's crazy where those kinds of ads pop up on you, but I'm pro-Jew, dude. Love the
I think what it is, bro, right? Peep this website, right? First of all, before you even peep the website, just peep the framing, right? Joe Rogan Guest, right?
Bad guy.
So, right off rip, you're saying Joe Rogan has people like this. Joe Rogan has people that sever heads. You know, so already you got like a weird audience, right, for this whatever website. Like, this ain't some normal shit. What is this? Mediate. I don't even know what the fuck mediate.com is. So I would guess that most of the ads. Look at this shit. Find child. At first, I read it as "find child near you." I'm like, oh shit, they're just advertising. They're like, hey, like the Jews are great, and you want a kid? They're a block away. Really? Like,
holy shit, dude! You got ad block, and that probably your ad block won't work shit against that.
Yeah. This shit is Soros fucking funded. This fucking website, bro. That's what's shaking here, dog. You know what I mean?
Good stuff. It's crazy though, like, because the funny thing is it is about Joe Rogan. I think like maybe 20, 30 years ago, they might have highlighted this gentleman's race, his background, his characteristics. But what they go after now is like the head of the snake. And the head of the snake of the opposition right now is Joe Rogan, perhaps.
Joe Rogan. He's the head of the snake as far as you got Twitter and you got Joe Rogan. Those are the head of the snake as far as the two places that have said, nope, free speech.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm having anybody on. We're going to talk about whatever the fuck. When we make jokes, we're going to joke about whatever the fuck.
It's so true now, too, because he can say I had a murderer on my channel on his whatever it is. I support everybody. He's not a serial killer, but he's almost close because it was attempted. This guy's like one away from serial.
Right. Well, and that's kind of the point too, right? It's like you don't say that. Like I was saying to Dust before, they didn't say like fucking best friend of Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell were, you know what I mean? Like, now Joe Rogan is the head severer because this fucking psycho fucking cut somebody's fucking head off. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. You know?
I like to see the
framing. I
like to see the views on that podcast. Probably didn't do too well.
But
now it's up though. I guarantee now he got it's up. Everybody wants to see with a serial killer, almost serial. He's
everyone wants to know about Sheldon now. What's up, the black dude in the blonde wig that cuts heads off? Yeah.
The blonde wig is the best part, though. Like he's trying to walk out like a white guy.
Bro, classic, bro. A blonde wig, bro.
He should have done white face. He should have put on white face and walked out.
Right, if you're gonna do it, do that shit right, bro. This motherfucker probably got like I picture a cartoon type blonde wig too. I don't picture like some like dirty blonde shit. Like I think he just went like straight costume. He wasn't thinking, this dude. What I was thinking though. Now here's a thought experiment I gave to Dust. What if this dude raped him in jail? Are you then more okay with the head severing?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're on the same page with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Then it's retribution. It's payback. It's like,
Right.